Hi everybody and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Justin Caffrey. Thank you for being here. This channel is devoted to my work into the nervous system, anxiety, stress, performance, the vagus nerve. This is the key nerve that determines so much in terms of our physiological and psychological health and well-being. Today's video is going to be a really simple little talk on understanding anxiety, and we're going to break that down showing the relationship between the guard dog, the fight and flight response, and the wise owl, or prefrontal cortex. But before we go there, please like and subscribe to this video. It means a lot to me and it means that we can share this with a broader community. If you'd also like to join my course, there's a massive discount on at the moment. I'm trying to get this out to as many people as I possibly can. It's important that people get the tools and they're resourced. Go to my website, remotetribe.co.uk, and you can sign up to the course there. You can also follow me on Instagram, Justin_Caffrey, or on Twitter at Justin Caffrey. But now, let's go in to have a little bit of talk about this key component and shift. So we're going to have 2 points of discussion here. One, we're going to call it the guard dog. And the second one, we're going to call the wise owl, okay? And it's important that the guard dog is number one in this example. The guard dog is your sympathetic response. This is the part of your nervous system that is assessing danger. And if we look at my really crude drawing here of a human brain, what we see at the front of the brain here is the prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is the executive function. This is the part of our brain that allows us to think smartly. You're watching this video with me now using your prefrontal cortex. This is the latest bit of kit in terms of our brains. It's about 10,000 years old, the human being 200,000 years old. So the prefrontal cortex is where we've devised and developed agricultural tools, where we've gone through the Renaissance, where we've built technologies to enhance the human race. And this is a really important part of our body. People who are trapped in the fight and flight response, in contrast, are stuck in a situation where the guard dog is alive and well. And when we teach this in schools, this is a really good analogy to work off, because what we have here is the guard dog is there to assess danger at all times. And anytime it sees danger, it's either going to run in there and fight, or it's going to immediately flee. It's not very sophisticated. It didn't get involved in the Renaissance. It's a very basic system. The wise owl is there to discern, to look for options, to consider everything that's available right now. We all would like to be working inside the wise owl. That's where we need to be all the time. However, what happens when the vagus nerve is dysregulated? When we're caught in a situation where we have been stimulated too much in the anxious state, we've been too long in the fight and flight state, and being too long in that state, what can actually happen is we almost cancel out the prefrontal cortex. People are caught in a perpetual state of fight and flight. The guard dog is always on. It's always there, barking, thinking, looking for the next moment to attack, the next thing to be fearful of. It sees the world through a purview of fear, not reflection. When we see the world through a purview of reflection, we have many options. Many options. So when the wise owl is available to us, it slows down. It's looking around. It's considerate. It's thoughtful. It's not irrational. So we want our wise owl on. Now, on my channel, you'll find many vagus nerve exercises that help us move from the guard dog to the wise owl. And over the longer term, we want to get back to the point where the wise owl meets us every day. Happy, healthy, functioning human beings wake up with the wise owl meeting them. But I have somebody who's had panic attacks, who suffered from PTSD and anxiety. It's been 8 years since I had a panic attack. I haven't had one since. I don't have anxiety ongoing in a negative way in my life, but I have to make sure that I do all the things that I need to do on a daily basis to get that right. So I'm conscious of my food, I'm conscious of my alcohol intake, I'm conscious of my sleep, I'm conscious of a simple meditation practice every day to help connect to the parasympathetic state, to help connect to the wise owl. So it takes time, effort, and work. But what's important is when you're constantly meeting your life in fear, you've got the guard dog on. And the guard dog is fantastic if all of a sudden somebody jumped in here and attacked me. My guard dog would immediately turn on. But in reality, it's very seldomly I need it on. So those of us who get dysregulated have it on too long. And even people who've suffered as long haulers in COVID can have the same problem. They can have the guard dog activated because we're starting to see the data coming out now showing that it gives heightened levels of inflammation. And through heightened levels of inflammation, the nervous system is spiked and the guard dog is on. And even people who are suffering from chronic pain and even fibromyalgia, there's some good data that really shows us now that the guard dog, when left on for too long and it's not able to fight or it's not able to flight, it starts to move into a chronic pain because the nervous system has got to the point where there's adrenaline and cortisol pushing through the veins of the body all the time. Many of the organs are not functioning properly. The body is actually breaking down, and chronic pain and autoimmune tends to be a result. I suffered from many of these myself. Thankfully, I have none of those problems now since I focused on how I need to manage and maintain the situation to keep me out of the guard dog and into the wise owl. I will come back and cover this topic in more detail again in the future, but simple things like how we breathe. So in the midst of panic, in the midst of anxiety and stress, slowing down the breath puts the guard dog to sleep. And when the guard dog is asleep, dropping my pen, the wise owl comes out and pays attention. So I hope that's been helpful. If you've any questions about the wise owl, the guard dog, the neuroscience, the vagus nerve, cranial nerve 10, polyvagal theory, and how this impacts anxiety, stress, depression, pop them below. I check all my questions. I love to communicate with you guys as a community, and I love putting content out there that can help you. Please do like, subscribe, and share this with somebody that you think could benefit. So think of one person in your family, your friends, your network, and pop this onto them and say, have you ever thought about the wise owl and the guard dog and how that could impact anxiety and stress in your life? My name is Justin Caffrey. Thank you for being here. I wish you well. Until next week, friends.